Hey there! For today's episode, we are highlighting our Code Zero sail and sharing how we chose this additional light wind sail. This video shares in-depth information and expert advice from our meeting with Evolution Sails. That meeting took place back in April, just before the arrival of our new sailboat. However, this video shares footage of our actual sail being sewn and some of our experience sailing with it on our new sailboat. We hope you enjoyed this video, and please let us know if you have any questions or comments. Taking advantage of the light winds today, and we're going to put our Code Zero up, see if we can get some more speed.
All right, now, if one of our crew members could go back and operate the winch.
Don't you have to attach it? Oh, first we gotta raise it up. Oh,
well,
yeah.
we gotta pull it out to where I can get to the base. Then we'll lay it out, we get it laid out on the deck, and then we raise it up.
Okay. Is that pretty much it?
Oh no, it keeps going.
How long is it? Is it about 55 feet long?
It goes from the bottom of here to up there, all the way.
Uh-huh. Well, I know the mast is 55 feet tall, so I'm gonna guess it's a little longer than that, because it goes at an angle.
All right. So now, if somebody could now go back and operate the winches.
Okay, I'll volunteer to do that.
Thank you.
We are here in Deltaville. We're meeting with Evolution Sails to order a Code Zero or Spinnaker for our new boat that's coming in. So we're going to meet with Jerry over there and get the options.
So it's early April and it's a cold day here in Deltaville. And then just one more note is I'm not too jealous right now today that we don't have the boat because it is pretty chilly still.
Yes, it's not even 60 degrees and it's the middle of April. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and follow us for updates on the delivery of our new boat and our adventures yet to come. So we're meeting with Jerry at Evolution Sails this morning, and he's going to introduce us to the options for
Code Zero. We're going to talk about Code Zeros and Spinnakers, all the off-wind options.
Okay.
I've done my research a little bit with regards to Code Zero. It can go upwind, downwind, or not totally downwind, but it's a light wind sail.
Yeah, that's true. A Code Zero is kind of a crossover between a big Genoa and a Spinnaker. And so there's a spectrum between a really narrow, flat, hard cloth upwind Code Zero. You can have anything between that and a full balloon-shaped downwind running Spinnaker. The cloths change and the shape of the sails change, and the way we handle them change as you go from this close-winded, hard kind of Code Zero down to a full
So is there
runner.
a basic one for beginners to use?
We kind of have two options. One is with the Code Zero cloth, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. And then there's another cloth that's a woven polyester that's low stretch, but a little more forgiving and a little better for a slightly more full sail.
We want it to be blue, and we want it to look cool when it's out and on the boat.
Is that enough?
And so I guess some of the decisions that we make about this really depend upon the boat that we're on.
Right, exactly. Yeah, a lot of people ask about Code Zeros with boats that have big Genoas.
Yeah.
If you have a big Genoa on your boat, you really don't. A Code Zero doesn't make sense.
Okay, so how do we get started?
I'll show you the three different cloth options for downwind sails.
Okay.
This is the closest to the wind Code Zero cloth.
Yeah.
It's a laminate. Comes in lots of different flavors. This is designed for cruisers. It's all polyester. It doesn't tear too easily. It's low stretch. It's very lightweight.
Yeah.
And then the next cloth is a polyester. Still a polyester, woven now. So it's relatively low stretch. And then the next is a nylon. You know, Spinnakers are most spinnakers, especially downwind spinnakers, are all made out of nylon. Right? All three of these are great, just for the different ways we can build the sail and you're going to use it.
Let's explain our application, and maybe that will help as well. We're going to be sailing, in the bay, definitely this summer. But then we do plan on taking the boat, we want to take it offshore, go down to Florida, and then to the Bahamas, perhaps a little bit beyond, right? The research that I saw was, okay, let's do the code 0, kind of define what kind of cut we would have. But then I was thinking like downwind, true downwind would end up with a spinnaker. Right. At some point. I don't know if we would start off with that right away or not.
The code 0 is the most user-friendly, almost like a big Genoa.
Yeah.
It rolls up well. You put a sun cover on it. You can leave it up for periods of time. The spinnaker, whether you use it on a top-down furler or on a snuffing sleeve, pretty much when you're ready to use it, you put it up, and when you're done, it can stay up a few minutes, but then you've got to douse it again.
So the other thing is typically it's going to be, 2 people sailing.
Right.
And so, how usable or how more difficult is the spinnaker as opposed to code 0 for certain applications?
I think that it's more difficult, but it's more work.
Okay.
More time. Because as I said, you can't just leave the thing up. On a light air Chesapeake Bay day,
yeah.
If you get a puff, you can, or if you change angles, you can roll up a code 0 and sail with the code 0 furled up there.
Yeah.
If you get into heavy weather, you got to drop it. Yeah. But otherwise, you can sail with sort of almost like a cutter or Solent rig with the big code 0 as a reaching sail, and your jib is your upwind sail.
Yeah.
So it is a lot simpler to operate the code 0, but it's a cruising code 0, so it can be almost anything we want. But where we've ended up is a big triangular sail that will roll really well, give you some power.
So the first step is to decide if we want a code 0 or a spinnaker.
Correct.
Or both.
Or both.
Well, do we need both?
Well, one of the things that people don't consider sometimes is where you're going to store these things.
Right.
I mean, a spinnaker is a pretty good sized thing, and the code 0 is a pretty good sized thing. So you got to think about that. Well, the code 0 works from, about 50, 60 degrees off the wind, close reaching, down to about 110 degrees of apparent wind. After 110, it really gets buried behind the main and loses power.
Yeah.
Spinnaker is good from about, we'll say, 70 degrees off the wind. So, forward of the beam, back to about 135, call it 135. So it'll get you downwind better.
Yeah.
But beam reaching, the code 0 is great. As I said, it's a much easier sail to deal with. And if you have both, to put the spinnaker up, now you got to take the code 0 down and put the spinnaker up. If you want to put a sun cover on a furler and have it roll up well enough that you can leave it up for periods of time, there are cableless code 0s now, just to add some more confusion. So that there's no torsion cable in there, but I'm not convinced that the top of the thing rolls well enough.
Okay.
All right, so we've narrowed it down to, what is this fabric?
That's called Stormlight.
Stormlight?
Yep, and it's a woven polyester.
Okay. And it comes in red, white, or blue, and we like the blue.
Yes, and you can combine the colors as well.
How would you combine the colors? Like to make a pattern?
Throwing more variables in. Yeah, these sails are in a radial layout. Panels are triangular shaped coming out of the corners. So you can make sort of a star pattern, or if you've seen spinnakers, it's a similar layout to a spinnaker. So you can get creative.
All these sails, no matter how big they are, they start with just something this wide.
Yeah. When we do really big sails, we're limited by, sometimes we have to adjust the panels to fit on our table. It's only 30 feet long. So.
What's the size of a code 0 sail? The dimensions?
Yours is about 850 square feet, I believe. Each of these panels could be a different color. At the bottom here, that's a table, 30 feet long by 60 inches wide.
So that's the pattern.
So this machine, then you put that pattern in there, and then it'll go down and cut.
This table, if we wanted to cut these panels, we hit go, and then the table goes around and marks and cuts them off. And when we're constructing it, we'll put all these together, and then we'll seam the sections together.
One of the things I heard was the Stormlight has a potential to last a little bit longer than...
It does. That's a really good point. The laminate cloths...
Is that one?
Yes. You can get some mildew in there, and they can delaminate.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a little more durable. You know, when we designed this sail out of this woven cloth, since it will be pushing it to go a little, not pushing it to go upwind as much, it can be a little deeper and more powerful. So that's another advantage.
Yeah, I think that's a good option for us, at least at this stage, and then we can progress into the Spinnaker 2 weeks after we take delivery.
Right.
That's usually how we roll.
Yeah.
So we're taking samples. I like that.
Yeah, it's a nice blue.
Wow, that is really light.
It is. I mean, it just feels so fragile, but it's amazingly durable.
Wow. We mentioned the UV protection.
Yes.
How does that go on the sail, and is that restricted to these colors, or is it a different color?
It's different colors.
What is the UV protection? It goes on top of the sail?
It does. It goes along the leech and the foot. So when you roll the sail up, this is what's exposed, and it's got UV resistance.
Okay.
This stuff, if you just rolled the sail up and left it out in the sun, the sun would heat it up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know, within a season.
You know how like some of the boats have the...
When you walk down the dock, you see the general rolled up is blue or
right.
whatever color.
And that's just a protection from the sun.
Right. And we don't use Sunbrella on the Code Zero because it's on the heavy side. So we use something called Weather Max.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you, Jerry. We appreciate your
Oh, you're welcome.
all your insight and knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. It was fun.
So this is sheet for the Code Zero. There's a slip knot in it right here. That's just to keep it from going forward when it's just gently tied up. We have to feed it through here, and this will be, it'll be coiled up through here.
Using our Code Zero sail for the first time. It went up very nicely. And we've picked up speed. It's hard to see from this angle, but it has a beautiful yellow trim. We've got it up on the other side so you can see the yellow sun shield that protects the sail from the sun.